it's I knew this press conference wasn't going to be pleasant. It's a competition where you need to develop confidence with victories early on, and I think 2 narrow defeats and then a shift in momentum, and then we got exposed today with a very good team in front of us, and we conceded far too many turnovers. I think about 24, and we only had 30% possession in the second half. So it was always going to be difficult with those stats, and we'd certainly like to think we can, and we do think we can play the way we played in periods for longer periods in the future if we get developing and get a mindset into, and our mindset's got to be building games, not letting teams get in front and play out a catch-up rugby. We've got to stop. We've got to take silly errors out of our game, going into touch, learn to keep the ball, apply pressure. These are things that were, they were brought home with brutal clarity today. So, and as I said, the context of the competition, one team that's building and has built, and one team that's learning to build and is not quite there yet.
Greg, Scotland were poor again in the second half, same as Paris, same as Twickenham in London. Any reason that you can pinpoint for that?
No, it's something we spoke about this week again as well, but where we're becoming poor is because we can't exert pressure from our own half. And if we're playing in competitions like this, if you can't exert pressure from your own half, you're going to be in trouble, and again it proved today.
Looking at the championship as a whole, the state of the aim for Scottish Rugby is to win the World Cup this year. Is that at all realistic after a whitewash like this?
I think we've got to address a fair few things in our game before we make ourselves a true threat. But that's something that will be addressed earnestly right from the start. So there were encouraging individual performances during the Six Nations. There were things that were starting to come together. Like I say, we need a mindset change, and we'll have to work towards that and become more efficient. There were too many tackles missed today. There were a lot of things that I think that quite genuinely can be worked on reasonably quickly. If I said we were dominated from start to finish, I'd be worried, but I think there were periods of the game where we had them under pressure, so to keep repeating those things will be a message that we'll be trying to hammer back. We know we can do it. Why do we let off? Or let's develop that. That's part of our building program, our process of applying pressure. Let's apply it and continue it. Take away unforced errors. Take away possessions lost when we have control of how we continue playing with the ball. Those are things that we need to look at.
Is there a mental aspect to that then, more so than tactical?
If we look at the momentum, if we'd got the bounce of the ball maybe against France or maybe against Wales, hadn't had suspensions and injuries, we lost momentum, that is for sure. And then this game was, once again, as you said, everybody here saw that there were periods of the game against France where we dominated, periods against England, periods against Wales. And so those are things that give us, those are things we need to do, find, understand, and then once we understand, to build pressure and build a game, and not just be content with 2 or 3 phases of it. That's a mindset change that I think we'll have to move to.
Were you prepared for this sort of season when you took the job originally, Byrne? I mean, did you know what you were up against?
We know that we don't have a large number of players. We are what we are and who we are. But there are things within that I think we can improve on. We know that we can't get a lot of injuries. We don't have a lot of depth in some positions. I knew that was going to be tough, but these are good guys to work with. I just wish we'd get a shift a little bit sooner, and I'm really hoping that we'll once again we've seen things that we can improve ourselves quite quickly. So players will have to go away and coaches, and we'll look at how we can develop skill sets, change mindsets, and come back stronger.
Have you given up on Alex Dunbar playing the World Cup, or is that possible?
No, I'm hoping his operation went very well. The surgeon said that it was a reasonably straightforward operation, and he's picking he'll be back within 5.5 months.
Vern, do you think that the fact that Ireland were obviously trying to win the game in the first instance, but then they were trying to win the game by lots of points, that gave the game a slightly surreal context?
You you'd have to say the second part of the game they managed very well. They managed score occupation, field position, sorry, and we, in a game that was going to open up, we had our opportunities as well to score a couple more tries, and just simple things let us down. We had a couple of balls lost just in front of the line. We didn't apply pressure. We knew we had players, if it broke up, that would suit us, and it suited us up to half time. We started the first 5 minutes of second half poorly. I think we lost the ball twice, conceded field position, and then their game plan became easy for them. And they're a good team.
Just how good are they?
Yeah, they're a good team. They have the percentages worked out, and they're well led, well organised. They're a good side.
Was there anything about Ireland's performance that took you by surprise tonight?
No, like I say, we conceded a line break very early in the match, and that was just what we didn't need to do. That gave them confidence. I thought at half time, and I almost thought we'd scored another try just before half time with the ball that was ripped out of our hands. I thought if we'd scored then, maybe that may have changed, applied a little bit more pressure. And so a couple of things didn't go our way as well, and that's going to happen. But we have to. Ireland were too good a team to give those opportunities to.
Jeff Cross's yellow card, I think I'm right in saying that was the 5th in the championship so far. You're talking about building momentum, building phases. Is it fair to say that discipline is in fact installing that momentum?
Yeah, you have to say that. But if we got a yellow card and conceded, I think we conceded 12 penalties. They conceded 6. I think that obviously was one of the reasons that we didn't get field position in the second half was penalties and yellow cards. So we need to be smarter in that part of the game, and obviously we're pushing towards it.